Muslims, I've heard some of you want to buy the S&P 500 and I'm going to tell you how to do it. But first, let's understand what the S&P 500 actually is. The S&P 500, technically speaking, is not something you can buy. It's just a list of the top 500 US companies with some exceptions, but we're getting technical there. So who makes the S&P 500? That's easy. It's done by a company called S&P who provide all sorts of data and information to the finance industry. Because many people are familiar with the S&P 500, some fund managers decided to make a fund and hold exactly what's in the S&P 500. For example, Vanguard, a company which manages people's money, have made an S&P 500 fund called Vanguard S&P 500. BlackRock have done one too, and these funds try their best to track the S&P 500. Now, as a Muslim, you don't want to own every single stock that's in the S&P 500 because some of them will take you to hell. What you want is a fund that's kind of like that, but without all the dirt. There are some Islamic funds that cover the US in a Sharia compliant way, and to find a good proxy for the S&P 500, we're going to look at the correlation. So the top two in terms of correlation are SPUS, which has a correlation of 96%, and HLAL, which is done by the guys at Wahed, which has a correlation of 95%. SPUS can't be bought in the UK, so we're left with HLAL, which is available on Trading 212 with fees of 0.55% per year. Before you rush out to buy it, you have to ask yourself the real question: is it even the right investment for you? And to answer that, we have our guide.